No, I don't. Why is that not good?
Because your most fertile years are behind you.
But if we're still having children at replacement rates...
We're not. We're
but
way under
do you think that's
replacement
because
rates.
women are waiting later to have children?
Yeah. Well, it's because of materialism. So the reason that this occurs is, I'll explain it to you so that you know. If you can have the procreative function, right, and all the fun that comes with it without the side effect of children, a lot of people will opt to do that because of hedonism and because of materialism. The society is devolving into nihilism because there's no greater pursuit for people to have. Religiosity is bashed at every corner. God is considered to be something which is an outlandish fairy tale, and there's no higher authority for people, so materialist nihilism is what society's being reduced to. So people are looking at a sense of self more than they're looking at an extension of family.
I guess I'm curious about a couple things. Where is the proof that this is happening and that there is this big information campaign to keep women from having children in their 20s? And also, where is it coming from?
Well,
and why?
all the original feminists who are on the suffragette side, if you go back and you read their writings, and you can find them in a great book called Occult Feminism, they express over and over again that the nuclear family is the most dangerous part of women's liberation because it breeds a patriarchal system. And so that is what they were pushing against, was a nuclear family. They did not like that at all. So that's proof one. Proof two is that I can go back to the 90s when the United States was really pushing student loans, especially towards women, and in the 2000s towards women. And you saw the expression of feminism in what would be considered, I think, third wave at that time, telling women to wait until later in life, until they had something to fall back on because their husbands were going to leave them.
It does happen.
Well, the husbands aren't initiating the divorces. The wives are initiating the divorces.
Women do absolutely initiate divorce, but do you think that there's no fault in those instances? Do you think men were completely innocent?
Well, it's good that you bring up no fault.
I'm talking about no fault divorce.
Right, because no, of course, there's going to be times where men are at fault for the relationship dissolving. But when we look, we can look at these on a case-by-case basis, and we do. So we have all sorts of attorneys and judges and, polling groups who talk to these various divorced couples who they track and who they get remarried to. And the number one reason that they're getting married or divorced is irreconcilable differences. And oftentimes there's no abuse, there's no drug use, there's no abandonment, there's no nothing. She just doesn't like him anymore and decides to move on to somebody else. So when we look at the data, that's what we're seeing. What we're not seeing is that men are out, rampantly cheating or beating up their wives or doing any of this. And the reason it's so terrible that they initiate divorce for self is because most of the time they have children in these relationships. And it does huge damage to the kids. And so this is what I mean by selfish materialism.